Am I the a-hole for keeping my dad as a civil acquaintance instead of family because he married a woman who talks shit about my mom? My parents divorced when I, 30 for him, was 9 and my sister was 7. After a couple of years, my dad started dating Susan, and she talked shit about my mom despite not meeting her until her and dad got engaged. My sister and I told our dad we didn't like or approve of Susan, and he told us he loved her and we should give her a chance because she was a great person. Susan continued to talk shit about my mom, and we called her out on it regularly. When she and my dad had some kids together, she told us it was wrong to correct the mother of our siblings, and we were being unfair to the kids. Dad told us we should ignore her when she talks about mom and look at her as a person in her own right and judge her that way. I know I didn't give details of Susan talking shit about mom, so I'll explain a few. She'd ask what kind of mom let her son wear pink. She called my mom Looney Tunes for having a mental illness. She'd call mom lazy because we got school lunches instead of homemade ones, despite dad also paying for us to get school lunches and not making them. She repeatedly said my mom had an annoying voice and it made her want to attack mom. All of this before she met or spoke to my mom. And that's not all of it, even before they met. As soon as I turned 17, I stopped going to dad's house and only answered the phone when I felt like it. As an adult, I have maintained a civil but distant relationship with my dad. He's not someone I treat like family, and I have nothing to do with his wife or their kids. That isn't something I want to change, and I have told Dad that civil acquaintances is the best he'll ever get from me. My sister has communicated something very similar to him. Dad was hurt he was invited to neither of our weddings and that we have not included him in the families we're both building now. He saw my oldest 2 kids once, and that was brief. Other than that time, there hasn't been a time where we were in the same room since I turned 17. He has asked why we can't all get along and be a family again, and I told him he chose to marry the woman who talks shit about my mom. I said I was extremely disappointed in him as a dad after that, and that I want better for my kids. And I would never in a million years let his wife's presence ruin moments for my family. I also told him I would never ever want her around my kids. I told him that I held a very different opinion of his wife than he did, and I did not find her good company or worthy of being in my children's lives. He told me it's cruel to treat him like a random person when he's my dad, and I told him he knew the deal. Then I suggested we just end all contact, and he said no. He doesn't want to lose me. He wants to bring me back into the family. I told him it would never happen, and he needs to figure out what he wants. He called me stubborn and said I should give it a chance because I don't even know his other kids, which is wrong. I really don't care. I never felt anything for my half-siblings, and I don't have a wish to know them. Am I the a-hole for keeping my relationship with Dad the way it has been for the last 15 years?